It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. I have been very sick. Yeah, first I lost my voice, and then I got over that, and then my wife gave me the mother of all colds. It wasn't COVID, but it was bad enough, and I just didn't do anything. So haven't been able to keep up on the videos. But while I was sick this last time, I acquired one of these guys, the Kenner Imperial Shuttle from Okay. The Kenner Imperial Shuttle from, I think, what, 1984, I think. 1984. I knew this earlier. I'm so bad at this. Anyway, I decided to restore it, and this is a stock photo that I stole off the internet fair and square for demonstrations and fair use practices. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I restored it, and I'm editing it right now, so I don't know how long it's going to be. It's a really long video. But hopefully I'll get it cut down and give you a Cliff's Notes condensed version. And I'll be jumping in and out to give you little comments because as you can hear, the video quality isn't the best. The audio quality is even worse. I was sick when I made this. So don't worry, you're not going to catch my cold over the internet. But yeah, just let me show you how I did it. Okay, let's get started. I got a Phillips head screwdriver, which is usually what you need. Here it is. Imperial Shuttle, 1984. As you can see, if you look this way, this fin is bent. We're going to fix that. A lot of yellowing. I don't know if it's showing up on this camera or not. I've got a different camera set up tonight. I'm using a Sony Handycam just because I don't feel like being in the shop tonight. But anyway, the electronics don't work in there. It's a little buzzing sound. Here's the cockpit. I want to show you this here. As you can see, this piece of glass or plastic right here has got a big bow in it. I don't know if we can fix that or not. We're sure going to try. This is the original glass. But what we're going to do right now is we're just going to tear the whole thing apart. The wings, I'm afraid to move the wings. They don't seem to be working. When I push the trigger mechanism on the bottom, nothing happens at all. I don't feel it engaging anything. So rather than taking the risk of breaking it any further, we're just going to go ahead and tear it apart and see what we got. As you can see, this piece here is very discolored. It's got the original stickers on it. That's another thing. This has a lot of the original stickers in it. I want to keep those. So with that said, let's start taking this baby apart. First thing we'll do is going to take this fin off. And the best way to take this fin off is if you reach in here in this compartment, you can push up on the clips. So it won't, hopefully, because you know this is old plastic, hopefully it won't break any more than it already is. Trying to feel where they're at. Okay, I am having a heck of a time getting this off. I don't want to break that plastic, and that's what I'm trying to be careful. There's a clip under here, and I'm trying to pull the clip, get my finger there so I can pop it up. But it's not cooperating with me. Well, sometimes when stuff frustrates me, I'll just move on to something else. So we're going to take out something easy. We're going to pop this out. This looks like it's in good shape. You know, we're going to clean that up. So that's one piece that's not broken. And I got my cockpit. We're going to clean that up too. Oh, there's a sticker in there. And that's an original sticker, so we'll be taking that out. I want to see if we can get this glass. Oh, okay, this glass is popping right out. Well, that's good. I'm wondering if I could take a heat gun, if you could still see this. If you could still see the bend in it. I think a heat gun and some gentle pressure should take care of that. That's what we're going to try later. Or maybe boiling water. I'd rather use boiling water because boiling water you don't burn things. And you can hopefully reshape that to the way it belongs. Set that aside. This piece here should pop right out. Oh, I hate that noise. It makes me nervous every time. But this just pops out. It's got two little clips on each side. And these clips are in good shape. This piece is good, but I can feel it's just dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Here's my trigger, which wasn't working, and now it is. I still don't want to mess with it much, though. These legs here, I'm not sure how they come out, so we're just going to tuck them up into there for now. These front guns here just pop right out, gently. And you see they got little clips on there. Once again, dirty. It's all over my hands and everything. I should have gloves on. But this piece is in good shape. I'll set that aside. Got the one over here. I'm just gently wiggling it back and forth until I hear a little pop. Not a loud pop, little pop. And those clips look good too. None of them are broken. Once again, dirty. Ugh. These two side guns, I believe, come apart. Yeah, this is the easy one. They come apart like this in two pieces, and they are in good shape. So we'll leave that go. That's ready for cleaning. I'll get these two guys out. One's going to give me, up there it goes. Okay, these come out nice and smooth. Nothing really to break. One goes into the other, and there's your piece. Set that aside. I want this out, but I don't want to break it, and it's making me nervous. I'm not going to tear the bottom off until I get that apart. Alright, I'm going to take a break before I break it. Okay, well finally, it took a few tries, but finally it popped out. Luckily it didn't break. But what I do notice, and this was like this when I got it, right in here, this part is separated, which is probably why I was bending over. I shouldn't be able to do that. So we're going to try to glue that back in place so it sticks. Yeah, it looks like all the pieces are there. It's not broken. We're hopefully going to put that back together with some glue or Gorilla Glue or something. And we'll clamp that for a while to keep it nice. But for now, it just needs cleaned. So we set that one aside. Here's the cover for here. It's fuzzy too. Let's set that aside. Now I'm ready to crack open the bottom. Well, here's the battery compartment. Let's take the battery compartment off. Battery compartment. As you can see, these terminals actually aren't too bad. The battery compartment is held in by two pegs. One peg here, one peg over here. Once again, old plastic, you've got to be careful you don't break it. And it looks like I can pop, if you can see, it looks like I can pop that up. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to pop that one peg up, slide it out of this thing. There, it works. And then this one should pull straight out. Oh, good. Both of our pegs here and here are still in good shape. Once again, it's dirty. Original stickers, we're going to remove those. Now we're ready to open up the bottom. And here's the bottom. Oh, there is one piece missing. There's a missile gun that goes here. This didn't have it, but I had ordered one on eBay, so that'll be here probably by the time you see this video. Now we're going to take out the screws on the bottom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I can see. Change my screwdriver. Phillips head screwdriver, like I said. Get it in there. Magnetic screwdrivers are great to use if you're doing this. There's one. Set that aside so we don't lose it. 2. You might be tempted to use a power drill with a screwdriver bit in it. I say don't do it because any little too much pressure on these can strip your screws or worse, break the plastic. So it's best to go old school and use a hand screwdriver. And number 4. There's 2 screws on top, I believe. Yep. There's so much crud in that hole I didn't see a screw for the first time. So, number 5 and 6 are on top. And 2 on the top are the same size as the ones on the bottom, so we can put them all together. This guy never came out completely. And he's in there, we'll find him. This top should come off, there we go. There's the top, here's my screw. Let me get that so I don't lose it. Put that aside. Here's the top, you can see it's, I don't think I really have to say about it's dirty, but it looks like it's intact. I don't see anything broken. New original sticker. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Just a good cleanup on that guy. Now here's the hard part that we're going to have to work on. And this is what I'm going to have a hard time getting a camera angle on. Here's the insides. All these gears and stuff to operate these wings. Now, your trigger's up front. When you pull the trigger, it's supposed to release. So these, I need a pointer. The trigger on the bottom, when you pull it, will release these gears here. Otherwise, they're stopped. When these release, these turn freely, which turns your wings. And there's springs here for each wing. We're going to learn how to put that back together because off the top of my head, I don't know. Interesting. Oh look, standard Kenner motor makes that noise. Like I said, it wasn't working before, so we're going to fix that too. Should be interesting. But I'm looking at these gears, and before I tear them apart, if you're doing this at home, you might want to take a picture for yourself at this point, just so you know where to put these pieces back. I'm going to go with this side here next to me because it's closest. I'm just going to lift this. It's already coming out anyway. I'm going to try to... Okay, the spring came off. I already forgot which way the spring was on. I believe it was on this way. Nope, I'm wrong. It was on this way. Okay, another reason you take a picture first is then now you could refer back to see how that spring actually went on. One thing I can tell you right now is this mechanism is not as bad as I thought it was. I think it was just jammed. But I'm looking where the spring is on this guy, so I can match it on this side with this guy. And I'm going to guess, educated guess, that yeah, it goes like that. So my spring is going to be pointing toward the front, the long end of the spring. Double check, yeah. I do have a picture for reference I'll look at later. But that's why you want to take a picture. If I'd have dropped this and went all over the place, you wouldn't have known how to put it back together. So once let's get back to this guy, and we're going to lift this out. Wing mechanism. This is just a wing now. You just want to check this piece here. Now see how this is? It has a slot in the middle. And then this piece here has a tendency to break on a lot of these. This one's in good shape though. And same side over here, good shape. No chips, no broken teeth. Everything looks to be up. Here's one problem. There's supposed to be a peg right here, a square peg sticking out. This is probably why the wing mechanism wasn't working. And okay, I'm going to take this gear out. And there's my peg. It broke off in there. So it would be really nice if I can get that out. Maybe, just maybe, I can glue that peg back to where it belongs. It looks like a clean break. Some super glue might work. That's something we're going to deal with in a little while, but not at this moment. And I'm going to set these two pieces aside so I can get that out there, probably with some tweezers. And of course my wife took my tweezers. So that's why that wing wasn't working. Now this side is the same. The spring's good. This gear looks okay. So now we're going to go ahead and lift this out. Just pull the wing straight up, holding on to that spring so we don't lose it, because it'll flick off. And I was wrong about the spring placement. Look where that spring is. The excess spring should be on the outside. So I'm going to leave that on there for now so I make a note of it so when we go to put it back together we remember. And the same on this one. It's missing its little square peg. So we got to find a solution to how to fix that, or this is never going to spread its wings again. I don't think super glue would be an answer this time. Here's the piece of peg in there, and it looks kind of, that one looks kind of rough. So we'll have to look at that. I'll put that with that so we know which one matches which. Back to this guy. Okay, battery compartment. Got to come out too. There's a pole here and a pole in here. And this should just lift straight up with a little bit of gentle wiggling. Oh, it's easy. It's coming straight up for me. It's not even fighting me, so that's good. And this is all your electronics here. Battery compartment, the motor. We're going to try and get that working later. I've had a lot of success getting these kind of motors to work. So it's turning pretty freely, so I'm not positive, but I'm confident we can get that running. We're not going to put this in water, though. We're setting that aside. What's next? Okay, I just realized why the cockpit wouldn't come out. There's two more screws. One here. That's why you don't go pulling at things until you completely understand what's holding them in there. I couldn't see those screws when it was closed up. Now I can. And that's the same screw as the rest, so we can put them all together. Second screw. Like I said, I know this camera angle isn't the best, guys, but I don't have enough room in my shop to tear something this big apart and film it. So I'm hoping you're getting to see what you need to see. But I've never really been known for my filmography. Here comes, okay, the whole cockpit and the whole floor comes out. That's why. It's all connected. It's all connected. Okay, I feel like I'm missing something else because it's not really giving me any motion. I don't see any more screws. I do see this thing. Oh, that's for the legs. Okay. I feel like there's another screw somewhere we might be missing, or maybe it clicks in and I missed the where. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the bottom. As you can see, this is all separate piece. It does move a little bit, but it doesn't want to come up. Bum, 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 bum. The reason why I want it to come up is I want to see if, well, the brake on the, I'm pulling the trigger here in the bottom. See, when I pull the trigger, I can spin these freely. When I let the trigger go, it won't turn. And that's what I need it to do on both sides. Rather than break the plastic on this, I think I'm just going to leave that in there. I'm going to clean it the way it is. Yeah, there's no other, there's probably a clip or something that I'm missing. Well, not that I'm missing, but that I don't see. And rather than risk breaking it, we're going to wash it just like this. That's our next step. So I'm still wondering about this piece here that has the square peg from this lodged inside it. You can see how it broke off from the pressure of turning. I'd like to get that out and refasten it somehow. I don't think super glue would be strong enough. Now this is a wooden dowel rod. I usually use these as pointers. Oh, sweet. All right, what I just did is I just poked it out and it came straight out. Now, it's got some goop on it. I don't know if that's like Vaseline or what. But what I want to see is, will this fit back on here? And if it does, what can I use to adhere it? If it's complete, it should fit okay. And that actually does fit. If you can see past my fat fingers, that actually does fit right where it needs to be. But the problem is it's got that goop on there. If it's got goop on there, and I'm assuming it's some kind of lubricant, like Vaseline or something. I hope it's not like anthrax or nothing. Who knows? But I need to figure I have to get all that off. Yeah, it's on my fingers and everything. It feels like a lubricant, like maybe a lithium grease or a Vaseline. Whatever they might have used to lubricate that. I'm sure it had some lubrication in it. But I got to get all that grease off there before I can even think of gluing anything. So that's where I stand on that right now. But I think I'll be able to, after I get this, yeah, this is kind of, yeah, there's some kind of lubricant in there. That all has to come off. I'm going to solve that problem, and then I'll be right back. I decided to use rubbing alcohol. This is 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. You can get it in a drugstore, grocery store, wherever. It's nothing fancy, but I'm pretty sure that'll cut all the lubricant off this. I'm just going to go ahead and douse it. And I know rubbing alcohol won't hurt this plastic. I thought of using lighter fluid, but I'm actually a little low on lighter fluid, and I need the lighter fluid to get the stickers off. So I'm just going to saturate that in rubbing alcohol. I'm going to rub each side, just clean it. I mean, that's all I can do. Especially right where the piece I'm going to glue itself. I get that ground in there real good. And I think that worked. I mean, I took it off my fingers. So we're going to set this aside. I want this to be completely dry before I even try to glue it. So I'll set that aside too. And we're going to do the same with this part here, because like I said, it's got lubricant or something in there. That's got to be some kind of lubricant. I'm just going to clean it out. I still have to clean this stuff in the sink. That's the next. Well, the next step is removing the stickers, and then I'm going to clean it. So I just want to show you what I'm planning on doing with this. So I could just clean this out once like this. Get all that out of there as best I can. I can probably do this better in the sink whenever I hit it with the detergent. But okay, so next is going to be the stickers. I've done a video about how to take the stickers out before, so I'm not going to show you everything. Let's just pick a random sticker here. I like to use, to get the stickers off, I like to use lighter fluid, just any lighter fluid, Zippo lighter fluid, this. And the good thing about this, I can saturate that sticker just like I did. Oh, wait a second. While I'm waiting, I get Another clean towel ready here. And then I should just be able to take my tweezers, find one of the corners that's lifting up, trying to pay attention to the camera. Alright, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm trying to do it the right way. Find the corner after it's saturated and gently lift up as I feel. You'll feel that lighter fluid eating the glue away, and that's what's happening. It's tedious. It's very tedious, especially if you want to save your stickers. And I do want to save my stickers. Look, yeah, I could feel that glue melting away as the lighter fluid hits it. And sometimes you have to add some more lighter fluid. In this case, there's my sticker. That's one. Now, I'm not going to sit here and do all the stickers on camera because it would take all night. And I'm going to evaluate each sticker and see, can I use this one again? Yeah, it's got a couple scratches on it, but I could probably use that again. I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of the stickers off camera, but that's all there is to it. I did a video earlier of taking different stickers off and how to use a lighter fluid if you want to check that out. I think it was an X-Wing restoration. But let me get these stickers off and we'll be back. I just want to add something really quick here. After we took this sticker off here, where am I at? Where's my finger? After we took this sticker off here, remember this one was here? There's where those other two screws where we were looking for, why I couldn't pull this piece off. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off now too. So remember I said I was going to jump in and out of here occasionally to correct myself or to narrate a little bit. The stickers. I started taking the stickers off like I said I was going to. And what had happened is I ruined out of the 5 I took out, I ruined 3 of them. So I stopped and I decided, you know what, I'm not going to ruin all these stickers because they're original and I'm really hoping to keep them all original. But I decided I'm just going to clean it and see what happens. And, you know, I'll put other stickers on it later. So it didn't work out so well. But under those other stickers that I just showed you, the screws that held the canopy on, I just took those 2 screws out and the canopy popped right out. I'm not sure if it's going to be later in the video or not, but just thought I'd let you know real quick about that. So I got all the pieces soaking in some warm water, Dawn dish soap, and a little bit of OxyClean. Don't use bleach or any harsh chemicals. It's because it can just damage the old plastic. There is whitening techniques you can use with peroxide and retrobrite. I don't believe in them. I just usually soak them for about a half an hour with warm water, Dawn dish soap, and just a little bit of OxyClean, and it seems to get it clean enough. Unless you want it super pristine, but they say that can degrade the plastic. And in my experiences restoring stuff before, the yellowing comes back pretty quick when you do that. So that's my recommendation. But while they're soaking, I want to hit this battery compartment and get this motor running. Now you can see it's a regular Kenner motor. You know, it spins, it makes that noise. And I haven't even tried this yet, so we'll see how long this takes. I need a couple batteries. Negative, positive here. Positive, negative this way. Now those terminals don't look too bad. We might clean them up here in a bit. But this is, like I said, I haven't even tried this yet. So I got my batteries in. They're the right directions. Turn it over. This is where your button hits. And I didn't expect it to turn on, and that's okay. But I'm going to give it some voltage, and I'm going to just spin this. And this can take a while. It can take a while. I spin it about 100 times, and then I can move to the next step. It's not even trying to spin. So, you know, you figure this hasn't been running who knows how long. It's actually... I could feel it trying to go, though, so it is getting voltage. Let's keep spinning it. I mean, I've spun these like, it feels like thousands of times before. I should have done a count. There we go. And there's that sound we all like. It's still struggling a little bit though, because well, you figure I haven't been used in like 40-some years. It's still it's just And these are brand new batteries. I know it's not the batteries. But you can hear it's not quite the way it needs to be. But at least I know it's getting voltage. At least I know it works. So it was going good for a bit. Now what probably happened is the dust in there got kicked around. The dust thinner got kicked around and probably is reclogging itself. But it still turns smoothly whenever I hit it with my finger. So I know this can be saved. It's just going to take a minute. I've run this for the past 2 or 3 minutes. It is working better, but I still feel it's... Oh, battery fell out. Scared me for a second there. Got to keep the batteries in. I've run this for the past 2 or 3 minutes, and it's working. But it's still hesitating a little bit. So I decided, and I do this once in a while, I don't do it all the time. Excuse me. I'm just going to put a little drop. This is just hair clipper blade oil. You can use sewing machine oil. Some people have even used WD-40, which is basically a fish oil. I'm just going to put a little tiny drop right on this axle on the inside. Just an ever so tiny drop. I don't know if it's showing up on camera or not, but there it is. And now we're going to run it some more. And already I notice a huge difference. Just one little tiny drop. If you put too much oil in it, it's not going to work at all. And so it's touchy. I don't like to do it unless I absolutely have to. But that's that. Now we're going to go back to cleaning our pieces. All I have here is just my warm water, some Dawn dish soap, a little bit of OxyClean powder, and I just mixed it together. And these have been soaking for about, I don't know, half an hour, 20 minutes, something like that. And all I'm going to do is, I have a toothbrush here. It's actually a denture brush. But I have a toothbrush here, and I'm just going to scrub it. A little scrub on it. And use that to get all the dirt off of it. It comes off relatively easy. I told you about the stickers. Here's one there. I'm just going to be gentle around the stickers and hope they don't come off at this point. You know, not everything works perfect. And I'm just going to do this with all the pieces and make sure they get nice and dry. And after they're dry, we'll go back to the next step. And here's this one, yellowing. Got to figure out a solution for that yellowing. Well, as you can see, I have cleaned each and every piece here. I used the Dawn dish detergent, warm water, and some OxyClean. A lot of the pieces come out really, really nice. I told you about the sticker debacle. You'll probably see there's a few stickers on these. They actually survived a washing process, so I'm just going to leave them on there. And there's one there. Kind of got a little gummed up, that one. But the rest of them come out pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave those original stickers on there, the cockpit I really worked on. I'm just going to leave those there. They survived a washing process, so I'm not going to take them off. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of yellowing on these two pieces here. It did get a little lighter using what I was using. But like I said, I don't want to use bleach. I don't want to put harsh chemicals on it. So we're going to see what it looks like when it gets all back together. Now these other pieces, like this piece here, it come out really nice. The wings come out really nice. It's almost like it's two different kinds of plastic. I was hoping this yellowing would be smoke damage, but it's not. It's just old and yellowed. Maybe it got some sunlight hitting it, who knows. But that's what we have to work with. And of course we got our motor running. The next thing I want to do is I want to get this piece of glass formed back the way it's supposed to be. And I've never done this before, but I think boiling water might do it. Somebody had told me to go ahead and use a heat gun, but I think I'm going to try the boiling water first. I feel like it would be a little safer so I don't ruin a piece. So let me get some boiling water on and we will continue. Okay, once again for the guys in the back. As you can see, this goes underneath to fit, but I just wanted to show you. So you can see this got this bow right here. We're going to try to fix that because it looks terrible. I don't know if this is going to work or not. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, I'm still going to leave it in the video. Then I'll have to buy a new canopy, which this one didn't get half as light as I was hoping it would. I don't know what to do with that. If you know how to get this any lighter without using harsh chemicals, maybe put in the comments for me. I was thinking maybe take a Dremel tool and some polishing compound. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Anyway, let me know. So I got a pan of hot water here, boiling hot water. I just took it off the stove. And I'm going to run hot water through my faucet right here too. I already have it up to hot because I know if you put something cold in hot water, glass, plastic, it has a tendency to crack. So I'm just doing hot tap water on it now. If you can see that, I can't really see myself with this camera. Because like I said, I don't want this to crack. This is original. So the tap water is your standard hot tap water. And I can feel it getting a little softer already. Now's the part that's going to make me nervous. I'm going to put it in the boiling water. Cross your fingers, guys, because I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. I hope it does. I really do. I'm going to run cold water over here. Because after I do get this fit, I want to hit it with the cold water so it locks it in place. That's what I'm hoping will happen. I know it works on the X-Wing cannons, and it also works on the double telescoping lightsabers, if you're lucky enough to have one of those. Okay, so that's boiling. It is. Okay, all right. I'm just doing gentle pressure to try and get it back to where it needs to be. I'm gonna hit it with the hot water again. It'd be really cool if this works. I really hope this works. If I break this piece, I'll be sad. Hot water, and it is getting pliable. It is going back to where it needs to go, but I don't want to put too much pressure on it because right now it feels like it's right back where it should be. I'm going to hit it with cold water. Really hope it doesn't break. Really hope it doesn't break. Please don't break. Please don't break. Please don't break. Okay. Okay, it's cooling off. Still got a little bit of a bow in it. Not as bad as it was. I feel like if I do this a couple more times, back to hot tap water, warm it up again. At both sides, because if you heat one side up and not the other, it will crack. Back to cold water, put this in the boiling water. Heat it up nice, stir it around a little bit. Bend it, bend it, bend it. A little more hot water. I really hope this works. I don't know what might cause it to bend. Maybe it was in the sunlight on the shelf. Who knows? Maybe just being old. Like I said, it's not cracked or anything yet. Bending it back. And we hit it with the cold water. Ooh, my water's really cold today too. I don't know why it's not very cold outside. It is definitely improved, but it's not perfect yet. Let's do a test fit. Turn that water off. Test fit. Put it in the right way, Bruce. That goes there. That goes there. Look what I did. I bent it too far in. I bent it too far in, so it should come back out. But it's 100 times better than it was, isn't it? It's 100 times better than it was. Still has a key. You can see where I bent it in a little too far. That's okay, because I'm confident now we're going to bend it back out a little bit. Hot tap water. Into the boiling water. Switching my tap water to cold. And we're going to bend that back out. I'm going to hold it straight. Cold water. Someone had suggested I use a heat gun. I probably could use a heat gun, but not very good using them. So I didn't use it. And that's that. Hey guys, look. Check it out. I don't think I can get any better than that. That looks good. That looks real good. Oh, popped out. See, why is it popping out? Oh, because I didn't have it clipped in. There, now it's clipped in. I am happy with that. Well, I've waited about 2 hours for all this stuff to dry now, and I want to start working on these other repairs where I want to glue, and I want to make sure it's completely dry to glue it. Here's our motor. Think it still works? Yay! Okay, we'll set that aside. Sorry, I'm really excited about that. So, I have a choice to make. I'm either going to use super glue or Gorilla Glue. One of the two. I haven't decided which one to use. Super glue's quicker. The they both work for the most part. With what I have to do, let's make some room here so we can see, because we're going to work on, you know what we're going to do first? Now we're going to set this aside here. And that goes with that. We're going to set this aside here because these are the quick fixes. I want to work on this. This is the top fin, and you know, when it was on there, it was kind of leaning to the side. And the reason is because if you see right here, it has come apart, and that's what was making it lean. So what we want to do is we want it to go back to where it should be, like that, and stay together. It looks like it might even be missing a little piece here. I don't think structurally that's going to hurt anything though. Yeah, it looks like it's missing a piece. So I decided, and you can see it's come separated the whole way around here. This isn't a snap and fit. This was actually glued. And it even looks like somebody might have been messing with it before, because there's scratch marks here, and I didn't do that. So what I'm going to do is I decided to go with the super glue. First I want to make sure it's dry. It's not dry. Alright, we got to come back to it. Alright, so it's been a little while. I made sure it's dry now. Don't ever glue something that's wet. It just simply won't work. That's all there is to it. But what I want to do is I need to seal this split here all the way around here. I decided to go with the super glue for it. I've had good luck with this super glue. It's just regular super glue, nothing fancy, if I can get the stupid lid off. And I'm going to just, I don't want to use a ton of this, but I just want to get just enough in there to fill up what I'm working on. What I want to do is I just want to get my super glue down in this crevice here. I don't want to use too much. Use too much, it takes forever to dry. Ah, shit. Alright. I can't do this on camera at the same time. But I just want to get it just enough in there to hold this together. And I'm having difficulty. Just going to go the whole length of this. I really hope this works. That is a sloppy job on my part. I should have got a new thing of super glue. So, and then this time I'm actually going to use a clamp because it's such a big area. I'm going to put a clamp right like that. I'm going to hold that together, set it aside to dry. I'm not going to lie, I'm not proud of that gluing job. This is what happens when you get tired and you start working. But moving on. Now this is where this guy goes. I showed you earlier. The little peg is going to go in here. Luckily it is a clean break and it's nice and dry, so I want to line it up, make sure I have the right one, because there's two of them we're going to do. And that does line up good. You see where I'm holding it. Set that down. And like I said, you got to be careful how much super glue you put on these things, because if you put too much, it just doesn't work. So just a tiny drop there in the middle. And I'm going to put my piece in there. I know you can't see because of my fat fingers, but it's in there. I want to hold that for about, I don't have a clamp that'll work. I wish I did. I want to hold that for about a minute. I'll skip through it while it's drying. Okay, it's dry enough now that it's going to hold on there. I'm going to set it aside. We're going to do the other one. I got super glue on my wife's tablecloth. She's going to get mad at me. I'll be in trouble. Wish I would stand up like I wanted to. What concerns me is this gear goes on that like this, and it turns, and the only thing it's using to turn it is that post. Now with super glue or not, I'm worried that it's going to break it off. So I need to figure out a solution for that. So while this is drying, if you can see it, while this is drying, I'm going to pause this and figure out what I want to do. Okay, I took a few minutes to think about it, and this piece is going to fit over top of that post like this. And this is going to turn, and that's going to turn that post, which is going to raise and lower the whole wing assembly. I don't feel super glue is going to be strong enough to hold that post. But since this is going to be stationary on that end, it's not going to go anywhere. So I decided I'm going to try something new that I've never done before. I'm going to take Gorilla Glue and I'm going to put it on the contact points of where the gear hits this. So I'll put some Gorilla Glue there, Gorilla Glue there, Gorilla Glue here. Now the reason I'm using Gorilla Glue is it's been my experience that super glue doesn't hold all the time for very long on plastic. It'll hold for a bit, but then you jar it, and I really don't think that post is secure enough. I don't think it's reinforced enough. So I'm going to take this piece now, and I'm going to put it on and onto the Gorilla Glue. Now if you can see, it's resting on the points I put the glue on. And I hope that works. I don't see why it wouldn't, but I think that'll give it more support than just using that post to open and close the wings. It shouldn't hurt any movement of anything. We're going to find out. Let's do the other one. And that's the other one. I'm a little more confident that once this Gorilla Glue dries, it does take 2 hours for it to dry before you can do anything with it. So we're going to have to pause for the night. But I'm more confident in that. I just hope we can get it back together. We'll find out. So now it's time to take the clamp off this one. I had to move it a minute ago, but it looks like it's holding. It looks like it's holding. I think that might work this time. It looks pretty straight if I'm looking at it. I guess we'll find out, because now it's time to start putting it back together. Set that guy aside. I don't need him yet. We'll start with the bottom. I got the bottom here. It's ready to go. It's come out nice and clean. It got all that grunge up there. Oh, here's a little tidbit you might know. A lot of people want to know what year their Imperial Shuttle is. If you turn it upside down, it'll say the year. This one here right there, 1984. I don't know if that's showing up or not, but that's where the date stamp is. The Power of the Force one is there too. I forget what year is printed on that, but I've got one of those too. And I think in my next video we're going to do a side-by-side comparison, because I think this video is going to be pretty long. But anyway, that's where your date stamp is on most of these vehicles, on the bottom somewhere. And it'll tell you whether you have a vintage one or one of those Power of the Force ones that's come out by Tonka, I think. Alright, so I'm just going to pop this in there. This is the trigger handle. It just has the little clippies. Make sure the trigger's working. The trigger's working just fine. That's about all we're going to do for the bottom. I'm going to set it facing us. Trigger part facing us. We have the gear over here. This is the gear that's going to go in the trigger thing. And we're going to set that in here. I'm going to pull the trigger so I can slip the gear into where it belongs. And if I did it right, then depress the trigger, I can turn it, let it go, it'll stop. That's correct so far. So we got that going for us. Next, I think we should put in, let's put this piece in here, just to get it over with. This is the one that we couldn't find the 2 hidden screws, but we did end up finding them. So you're going to put the back in first. It'll click into place, and then the front will slide into place. And we're going to replace these 4 screws here. I will get my little screws over here, and I got to get my screwdriver. I'll be right back. Okay, I got my screwdriver. Take one of these Kenner screws. And remember, they're all the same, so I put them all together. And we're just going to put all 4 of them in. Fast forward now. Always keep in mind, anytime you're putting these screws in, just finger tight. Don't make them too tight. You'll crack the plastic. I can't stress enough. This plastic's 40 years old, 50 years old. I don't know. It's old as hell. Just as old as I am. Alright, so it would be 40 years old. I've had them crack before, and then it's a disaster, and nothing wants to go right. So just be very careful about that. Now, you might be asking, why did I put the cockpit and this section on before the landing gear? Well, I did that because this section here will hold this gear and this axle down. And I'm going to test it again just to make sure I didn't go too tight or nothing got messed up. I'm pulling the trigger here, hold the trigger, and this should spin freely. And guess what? It's not. So I did something wrong. I did something wrong, and that's why we check. I wonder what I did wrong. I always leave my mistakes in for stuff like this. Not really sure what we did wrong. I mean, it's turning, but it's not turning It's not turning very smoothly. So I'm going to back off these front screws a little bit. So I might have gone ahead and put them on there too tight. I mean, it happens. I'm only turning them back a half a turn. Try it again. Okay, that seems to have fixed the problem. So apparently I had that too tight. Yeah, it's fine now. It's fine now. So, like I said, don't make them too tight. Okay, what's next? Next, we are going to the landing gear. Put these little bits and pieces away for later. I'm going to fold up, not the landing gear, the wings. I'm going to fold these two up for now, so just so I can get a better stable angle. And I'm actually going to do this backwards so you can see how they go. I don't know if you're going to get a better view on that or not. Hopefully you will. Take one of my wings, and this would go to this side. Now these springs, remember, these springs have to go in there. Remember how this is slotted. This one's actually a little bit worn. See how it's you know, I could do that. It's not like a perfect circle. Now, I know this goes in here like this. The extension part is going to go towards this way. It's going to go towards this way. So when I put this on, this piece here will go in this slot, and this will be like that, so it can do the little bouncy bounce thing. I wonder if I should reinforce that. Well, it's not broken, so I'm just going to leave it be. And then we're going to put this in where it belongs here. This is kind of tricky. This spring part, is it showing up? I don't even have a monitor. I'm looking at a little itty bitty thing. Put the spring part in the hole. There's not an actual hole there, but in the slot. And then we can slide the gear, which can be a little tricky. Slide that in, and right now that's good. That's good right there. And don't worry if they don't line up. There's a way around that for later. I want these legs, or I want these wings to be down the whole way, so I'm going to at least have them even. There we go. I want to have them, if you could see, yeah, I want to have them relatively even on the ground, around the same length, around the same height. So what actually happened right there was the little peg that I showed you, the square peg, it had actually broken off, and it caused some grief. But what I ended up doing, and I don't think I have the footage for it, I cleaned it off real good with sandpaper. I got the dried super glue off of it, and then I Gorilla Glued the whole thing on. I just put a big glob of Gorilla Glue, and I let that dry for about 24 hours before I came back to it. And I don't think I brought it up in the rest of the video. It's hard to remember what I did. But yeah, I had to use the Gorilla Glue. And then when I used the Gorilla Glue, it worked just fine, as you'll see. So, back to the video. Hey, by the way, if you're still here, you're awesome, because I know this is a long video. But if it's something you're into, it's probably interesting. Okay, so it's been overnight, and as you can see, these have dried pretty good. It's holding up the weight of the wing, which is what I want it to do, so it works when we put it together. But what I also did this morning is, these two parts were really, really yellowed. And I was looking at them, they didn't come as bright as I was hoping they would, so I actually soaked them in peroxide this morning. I knew we were going to have a nice sunny day. I left them in the peroxide, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours in the sun maybe. Didn't really pay attention. But they brightened up a lot, so I usually don't do that, but these were so bad I wanted to do something with them. So there's that. We'll get to that later. Right now we're ready to start putting these back together. So I'm going to get my wing here. We're going to slide that into the slot. Oh, first we have to get the spring on there. Put the spring on this way. The extension part sticks out, and that piece goes in the slot, and there's that. And I'm going to push that down inside the hole, and hopefully I'm going to slide that gear into place. I have to pull the trigger so it'll
Be able to spin, and there it goes right into place. I want to install these wings while they're down as far as possible. That looks like that side's going to work. I'm going to do the other side now. Same thing. Find my spring, which is missing. That's what happens when you wait overnight. You always end up losing a piece, and I cannot find the other spring. Fuck. Alright, I found the spring. It was actually on the table the whole time. That's why you should always put your screws and little parts in a container so you don't lose them, because it never fails when I walk away, I lose stuff. So the same thing with this spring. I want the little fingertips to stick out. Put the... Okay, while I'm messing with this, I just realized something. This piece here where my finger is shorter than this other one over here. I thought maybe it was broken, but it's not. So I looked, and that's actually the way it's supposed to be. Apparently one is longer than the other. So this spring, instead of putting it on notch first, as you can see, it won't work. I got to flip it over, put it on notch last. This still gives me this little finger clip here, which is going to go in the hole here, and then it's the same. But yeah, it confused me for a second, so something you might not have known. I'm going to try and get that in here. It's going to take some messing with. Well, I'm not going to lie, I had to mess with that off camera. I just didn't have enough room or anything. But I got them both in, as you can see. This one over here, where's my pointer? This one over here is just a bit shorter than this one here. Just a bit, so you got to kind of mess with it to get it in there right. I got it in, so we're good. That puzzled me. But we got it, and that's all that matters. Now let's see what's next. Next we have our battery cover, or battery compartment, excuse me. Make sure it still works. It does. And that goes on this direction, I believe, because our button to push is right there. So it's going to go here where these two things are. And it just goes easy on these two pegs right here. You shouldn't have to force this. It should just go straight down on. Just like that. The button goes down, and we're good to go on that. Okay, what is next? Next would be the top part of the fuselage. Like this. This is where we go from underneath, because underneath is where the screws are. Turn it over. Remember our screws 1, 2, 3, and 4. I got them sitting here and managed not to lose those. And I'll put them in with a hand screwdriver, like I said. Now it's starting to look more familiar. We can drop the landing gear now. So it'll stand up better for us. I'm going to put the back battery cover on right here. I don't know if I could show you this on the camera the way I have the camera set up today. But there's two little pegs, one here and one there. And they go in little holes here. If you open it up the whole way and you mess with it, it should pop right in. There we go, pop right in. Close that up. What would be next? 2 screws down through the top. Could have done that earlier, but it's another reason I keep all the screws together so I know what goes back in. Getting down to the nitty gritty of it. Let's pull these pieces closer so I can put them on. Today in the mail I got this. It's the only part I had to order off the internet to get. I got this one. All I had to do was clean it up, so it's good to go. But that is the rear missile that goes on the floor if I'm not careful. That just goes and pops right in here. Just like that. That part's done. Up on the camera. See what I mean? This thing takes up a lot of room. Okay, all our pieces, parts are used. We just have these left. I've got my front cannons. These other lasers. I've got this left. This goes underneath. Right in. 2 pegs, same as the other piece. Pop them right in there. There it is there. Go back and forth. A little tab up there holds it. And you're good to go. A little side piece here that we use peroxide on, which I've never done before. Fits right in there. Cockpit. Now a lot of times on the cockpit, this piece here they wear. They're supposed to go in this clip right here. Sometimes they wear and they don't want to stay in there. In this case, these are actually in good shape, so we're just going to pop that right in. And it's good. Well, it will be once I get that popped in there. And that's that. Now for the big fin. Well, let's put these cannons on while you can still see. These are easy. They just slide apart like that. Go in here on each other. I believe these cannons are supposed to be on the inside. Might be wrong. I'll have to check out on pictures later before I do the outro. Just like that. Could be wrong about that, but that's easy to fix later on. And then these guys here. If you see these, they have a smooth part on the top, and as you turn it, you can see the guns underneath. I believe the smooth part is up on this. Another thing, I should look at a picture. So with these up, yeah, actually I think that's right. That's how the pegs line up. They actually line up in the peg holes the right way. You can't really put them on the wrong direction. Get this guy on there too. That's those. And I think we're running out of parts. We are out of parts. I just have the top fin left. As you can see, we glued and clamped this the other night. It's nice and dry. It was crooked, so I'm hoping it stays straight this time. And that's just going to go in. Put the back part in first, and then the front part. It should just click right in. There it goes. And that's about as straight as we're going to get this piece.
Well, this is our finished product. I just wanted to show you a quick picture of it because it's so huge. I can't bring it down in my shop. I mean, I could, but I just don't feel like it. This is a big project, big time. Well, let's go to the outro and I'll talk a little bit more about it and what's coming up. Okay, yeah, long video, and if you're still here, that's awesome. Give me a like, I'd appreciate it. There was just no way to shorten that anymore. I had to leave everything in because that is such a complicated restoration to do. Just like the X-Wing video I did. If you want to know how to restore an X-Wing, check that out. It just took a long time. Anyway, the hardest part of that was the wing mechanism, which I showed you what I ended up doing, and I put a little insert in there about how I just said I just loaded up with Gorilla Glue because super glue. I knew super glue just wasn't going to work, and there was no other way to do it. That peg just wasn't strong enough, and so neither was the super glue. It was a bad design. And if you ever tore apart one of the new ones, or not new ones, but the ones from Tonka that they did in the 2000s, they actually changed the mechanism, because I have one of those too, and I'm thinking about my next video just doing a comparison between the two, since I have both now. I don't know, if it's something you're interested in. I'm sure there's no one listening right now, because it's the outro, and everybody probably said the hell with it. And that's fine, because I do that too. Anyway, yeah. I was sick that week, and the memory I want to share with you now is when I was a little kid and I used to get sick, I always would have a puzzle or something to kill the time with, because you don't feel like doing anything else. So I'd be sick with the flu or something, and I'd sit there at the desk, and my mom and dad would buy me a puzzle. and I would put the puzzle together. So this is kind of the same thing I do every time I get sick. I just find something to work on and, you know, pass the time until I start feeling better. But I am feeling a lot better now. Cold's all gone. I'm back to my normal self. And I hope to see you guys again real soon. I hope to come up with some new videos. Sorry I was away for a while. It's been a crazy month or two. Really has. Dealt with some stuff personally. I am doing well, if anybody gives a shit. I'm doing well. Through all the bad stuff and looking towards the future. So I will catch you later. Thanks for watching my video. Subscribe, like, all that stuff I'm supposed to say. As usual, I don't have a Patreon. I'm not asking for money for this. I just like doing it. If you want to check out my eBay store, Jenner Custom Toys. That's the only plug you're usually going to hear from me. You see something you like, buy it. If not, hey, that's cool too. Just check out what I do. I think I've talked enough. I think this video is long enough. So, bye.
Star Wars, da da da, Star Wars, da da da, Star Wars, da da da, Wars, dun 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 dun.